What's your favorite game to play with Granddad?
You wanna go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. My favorite game to play with Granddad is golf.
Which golf? Ball golf or card golf?
Actual ball golf. He always makes it fun, even though it's a frustrating game sometimes.
That's true.
I like to play Farkle with the piggyback rule, where he tries to lay the dice in his fingers and get the 1 or the 5 on the piggyback.
Merry Christmas!
Kaylin, what's your favorite game to play with Granddad? Huh? Hey Granddad, my favorite game to play with you is probably any one of the card games that is not the original way to play the game. It's always funnest whenever you figure out a way to change the game to benefit everyone involved, making sure that everyone has a good score even if only one person has to win. And it always seems like you find a way to give me half credit for creating the game even though it was your idea. Merry Christmas. What's your favorite game to play with Granddad?
My favorite game to play with Granddad, even though it's hard to pick one, would definitely be the card game golf, because I can win. Merry Christmas, Granddad. Love you.
What was one of the favorite things that you liked about growing up with Granddad?
I'm going to have to say 2.
Okay.
One of the things that I always liked about growing up is I knew if I had a hard decision to make, I could always go to Dad and ask him his opinion. And most of the time he would just kind of help me work it out and figure it out for myself. He rarely would tell me his advice until after.
Mm-hmm.
But that was very, very helpful in learning how to grow up. And then my other thing was going to say is one of our favorite things was he always came up with neat family vacations. And so that has been a lot of very good fond memories.
Byron, what's your favorite game to play with Granddad?
Well, they're all unique,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Apparently they have new meaning every time you're playing with Dean. So they're all good. I get to learn a new game no matter if it's the same one I've played before.
Yeah.
Whenever I play a game with him. So that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Mom, what's your favorite game to play?
I would probably say Still Nerds.
Yeah.
Still Nerds. Granddaddy used to play it really good, really competitive. He doesn't get involved in that much now, but Still Nerds.
Byron, what's something you love about Granddad?
A lot of things to love about Dean, but I think it's just I guess on the serious side, it's just, just being upright, just knowing that, he's just solid,
Mm-hmm.
and when he speaks to you or when he does things, it's always with love, and that's hard.
It is.
It's very hard, so it's amazing to see it in practice.
Yeah.
I'm still definitely practicing it, so it's nice to see it in action, I'll say that.
When I say Christmas with Mimi and Granddad, what's that bring to you?
Probably just the excitement of planning fun times together with lots of good food and sharing the anticipation we have of seeing people get fun things that we plan for them. Because as we've gotten older, Mother and I used to talk a lot about what everybody was getting and get excited probably more excited than the person opening it. Now with Dad, I think the same thing is true. He used to take so much fun helping Mother plan all those things, even though he may say he didn't want to. He liked doing it too.
What's one word to describe Granddad? Mom?
Godly.
Byron?
I took your word.
Oh, man. Yeah, you just have to follow that up with love.
And his life lessons are always so remarkable. And when we were growing up, as a child, you're constantly testing and figuring out what your boundaries are, and you look for your parents for some of those answers. And when we would be testing and learning about our beliefs and morals, and we would constantly say, well, why can't we do this, and why can't we do that, and who would really know? And Dad would always say, well, how much is your honesty worth? And that stuck with me for life, because when we'd want to try to sneak into a movie theater, go from one movie to another, Dad, who's going to know? Well, how much is your honesty worth? $2.50 for that movie ticket? That's all that's worth to you? And then the other thing as I've gotten older is I really look towards him for a lot of spiritual guidance still, because he is very knowledgeable in the Bible, much more than I am, and constantly seeking that, and that's something that I'm wanting to do more of too, but I learn a lot from him in that area.
Okay.
Dad, we just want to say that we love you very much, and we're so excited to spend another lovely Christmas with you, and look forward to a great year in 2013.
Dean, thanks so much for always being there for all of us. Thanks for all the time you've given me, and thanks for being who you are. It's made everyone a better person in this family.
True. And so, we wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New
Merry
Year.
Christmas.
My favorite game to play with Granddaddy is Nerds.
My favorite game to play with Granddaddy is disc golf.
Merry Christmas, Granddaddy.
Merry Christmas, Granddaddy.
Hey Granddaddy, it's Kelsey, and my favorite game to play with you is Nerds, but really any game to play with you is fun because you always seem to make the rules in our favor. I love you. Merry Christmas.
This is Megan. I love playing Nerds with Granddaddy to see him randomly throw cards in the middle of the Nerds pile and everybody be confused on where they actually go.
Hey Granddaddy, it's Kyle, and I just want to say Merry Christmas, and I love you, and my favorite game playing with you is probably Sequins. I love it how we're always on a team, and it's just fun to play with you. I love you so much.
Hey Granddaddy, it's PJ, and my favorite game to play with you is Nerds, because you always just throw out your cards no matter what. It's a great tactic, and I'm proud of you. Merry Christmas, and I love you.
Bobby's favorite game to play with Granddad is golf, ball golf. And second, he put cards, especially hand and foot.
Hey Dad, we're here wishing you a Merry Christmas. It's December 2012, and Cameron's got a couple of questions that he's asked us. Number one, what is one of my favorite memories growing up? And there's so many about building things together, working together, playing together, but I guess one of my favorite memories is working on our cars together when I was 15 and 16, as you helped me learn how to rebuild an engine and get my car ready for my first year of driving. Favorite game that we play together, probably, even though I love to play cards and everything else, the favorite game that I love to play with you is golf. And we got to do that a lot as I was growing up, and then even when I was young, I remember playing with just a 5-iron and you and Uncle Gary and us following you around. So probably my favorite game was golf. And so Kelly, you have 2 questions.
What is something I admire most about you, Granddaddy? The list is long, but I would probably have to say your ability to unconditionally love and accept people. You just have a way with people. You just have a way to love people like nobody I've ever seen before, and especially recently. So, and then my favorite game to play, I love playing games with you because you always change the rules so that they are the easiest to win the game. But I would have to say Nerds. Probably watching you play around the table at crosswinds and just chunking cards in the middle, definitely good times. So those are my questions, and we love you, and we wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Dad. We love you.
Cameron asked us to put this together. The first question he asked was, what is the funny memory that we have of Granddaddy? I guess the first one that comes to mind is when we were in our house in Colorado, and he and I tried to put up crown molding. The first time we put the crown molding up upside down, and luckily Becky came home at lunch while we were halfway done and let us know that it was upside down. And then we tried again the second time, and we couldn't get any of the angles right. And so finally, after some YouTubing and searching on the internet, we figured out how exactly to hang crown molding, and the third time was the charm. The other question that Cam asked us to do was what my thoughts were around Granddaddy as a father figure. Granddaddy is the only father figure that I've ever known. He's taught me everything from how to whittle, how to shoot a bow and arrow, how to mow the yard, how to be a good man in Christ and a good father. And he's really become my best friend. He was the best man at my wedding. I talk to him every week. We work out together. I mean, he means the world to me. He's the best friend that I have. And then the third question was, what is a game that I enjoy playing with Granddaddy? I don't like to play many card games, so one thing that I do enjoy doing with Granddaddy is playing golf. Not because I like golf very much, but I just like the opportunity to spend as much time with Granddad as I can. I love him with all my heart. What's your favorite memory of Granddaddy? Oh, yes. Say, Granddaddy, we love you.
Love you.
Laura's favorite memories with Mimi and Grandad growing up are summer family trips together, like going to the lake, skiing, or swimming, always looking forward to Mimi having snacks. Visiting places like Washington, D.C., L.A., and Tucson, Arizona seemed like National Lampoon, and Mom and Dad with 3 kids in a station wagon. One particular trip, driving in the station wagon, the outside temperature around 120 degrees, and the temperature inside the wagon even hotter. Then the engine overheated, having to drive for 15 minutes and wait for 20. She remembers it being very important to have evening meals together as a family. Her favorite game to play with Grandad is cards. I asked what was something she loved most about Mimi. She said her passion and love that Mimi shared with family and friends. Her love for antiques and the arts. Just always remembering Mimi sitting at the kitchen table, painting. Merry Christmas from Laura.
So this is our recording for Grandad Dean.
Hey! It works. Can you hear me?
guys having trouble with Wi-Fi today? I wonder if I need to reset the internet connection. Can you stay here? And I'll double check it real quick.
Can you hear me okay? No? No audio?
And I don't understand why we have a poor connection.
Can you hear me now? No?
Yeah. I can hear you now.
You can hear me sometimes.
Yep.
Weird.
Yeah, just sometimes.
Sweet. Say Merry Christmas.